right, let's talk Kansas City Chiefs here for a little bit. Back-to-back Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, of course, going for the unprecedented three-peat. And this is a team, the Chiefs, that obviously is stacked with talent at all levels of the team. But they have a few key leaders on both sides of the ball, veteran guys who are leading the charge going forward. But if the Chiefs want to continue to grow and develop, they're going to need some of these young guys to step up into their own leadership roles. And there's one guy in particular that looks like he's in a great position to do just that. And we're talking young edge defender George Karlaftis emerging as a leader. Let's pull up this report, then we can talk about it more on the other side. This is according to Arrowhead report. The Kansas City Chiefs are highlighted by superstars like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones. But with an eye to the future, which current Chiefs are Kansas City's best building blocks for the next evolution of the team? Defensive end George Karlaftis, who turned 23 in April, which is crazy young for a guy who feel like he's been playing already for such a long time. He earned the spotlight from David Kenyon of Bleacher Report, who identified every team's most promising building block ahead of the 2024 NFL season. Wide receiver Rashee Rice is a sensible choice, his off-field concerns notwithstanding, Kenyon wrote. But the Chiefs have a rising star on the edge where George Karlaftis enjoyed a breakout 2023. He collected 10.5 sacks and 35 pressures in the regular season and 3 sacks in the playoffs. Look, I think we all know Karlaftis did have a breakout campaign, especially when it mattered most. He obviously emerged as a leader. There were reports of that during the season as well, and it looks like that's continuing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Chiefs fans, in the comment section below, we're talking Karlaftis. We're talking edge defenders. So give us your favorite Kansas City Chiefs edge defender in team history. There's one guy in particular that may be the top of everybody's list, but I don't know. Maybe throw me a curveball. Give me your favorite Chiefs edge defender team history and put it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure you check out the description below for a list of our recommended NFL readings. So that way you can be the smartest commenter on all the YouTubes, watching all your Chiefs content, being the smartest person in the comment section. In order to do that, you got to check out our list of NFL books in the description below. But Miles, give me your thoughts on this latest Chiefs and Karlaftis development.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is great news for the Chiefs because when you look at this team, they're either young contract wise or they're young player wise. And that is very good for a young buddy team, especially when you have Patrick Mahomes out there. He can do a lot with that. But eventually, these guys are going to develop, they're going to get older, and it's going to come time to pay the proverbial piper. And then you look around the ball, it's like guys, like they said, notwithstanding off field issues, Rashee Rice, fantastic player. Feel like eventually he's going to have to get paid. You look at a guy like Marquise Brown. He's only on the team paid through this year. He's going to have to get paid if you want him to stay around, if he comes to be a good target for Patrick Mahomes in this team. You look at Creed Humphrey, the center. That guy's going to get paid eventually. He's a heck of a player. You look at Trent McDuffie. That guy's really young. He needs to get paid as well. He's a superstar. Karlaftis also probably going to get paid. But that is my point here is there's a lot of old guys on this team, older, that are still very talented, probably at the top of their game, but they're getting to the point where I think eventually they're going to be past their prime. Prime example, Chris Jones. He's 30 years old. He's getting up there. You know, he's been in the NFL for a lot of years now. He's put a lot of good time on the field. But I think eventually it's going to come to that point where the Chiefs are going to do the smart thing. They're going to have to move off one of their guys that they're paying a whole lot of money to make room for the new up-and-coming stars, and I think that could be a guy like Karlaftis. You brought it up. He's become a vocal leader. He's built his leadership skills. We've seen him become more of the face of this defense, not really cutting in on Chris Jones' territory, but more of a face. He's more of a guy that we look for as the motor. He's always constantly going. His play is elevated. He had a great season last year. Good season his first year. But I just think Karlaftis really is showing that he is potentially going to be a breakout star for this team and be the next face and the next leader for this defense.
You know, I think you brought up a lot of great points. And the Chiefs are in kind of an interesting window because obviously they're going for the three-peat, right? But they're chasing history in terms of how long they can keep this dynasty extended. Can they perform a New England Patriots-esque run of 2 decades of going for championships? And look, as long as you've got Mahomes, as long as you've got Andy Reid, they have no signs of slowing down. They're always going to be in the thick of it. But in order to do that, you need to make sure you have a succession plan on other positions on the field, especially the leadership guys. If you look at what tears down dynasties and runs, is that leaders of a team, they have to leave usually for salary cap reasons, or they retire on their own, and there's no one in place to replace them. You lose that vocal leadership, you lose that example, you lose that championship moxie, and teams, even if they have great quarterbacks and coaches, can never quite make another run to a title, right? We see that all the time in NFL history. Look at the Dallas Cowboys in the early to mid 1990s are a great example of that. All of their leaders were basically sapped in free agency. They weren't able to repeat that 4-year run when they won 3 titles in 4 years. The Chiefs are avoiding that pitfall by allowing Karlaftis to emerge as a leader, right? The fact that there are all these reports of him becoming more vocal, that doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? A team as stacked, a team as just frankly as good as the Chiefs are, they don't just sit there and allow anyone to just pipe up and become more vocal. No, that's selected. That's the leadership, whether it's the players, front office, coaching staff, all the above, saying, hey, listen, we need these guys to step up. We need these young guys to become more leaders in their day-to-day roles. And Karlaftis has been emerging as one of those guys. Former Chiefs great edge defender Tamba Ali noticed earlier this offseason, talking about what a beast Karlaftis is, coming in at 6 a.m. in the morning to get the work in, so focused on getting better and better already after having a breakout season, already, of course, being an NFL champion. He's still hungry. He's still putting in the drive. That's exactly what you're looking for in a leader to help usher in the next era of Chiefs dominance, right? Era 1, that was Tyreek Hill, that was Patrick Mahomes. Era 2 was the last couple of years where it's really been Kelsey, Mahomes, Chris Jones, and a couple, really just a cadre of young guys. Era 3 is going to be the emergence of these next group of young guys becoming stars and leaders in their own right. And I think Karlaftis emerging as a leader is a great sign for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just for 2020, not just for 2024, but for 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 years beyond as well.